So yesterday in class, you learned how to use rate tables to find equivalent rates and to solve problems. And we found out that if one number you're trying to get into the other number doesn't work evenly, you need that middleman. So with rates, the middleman is the unit rate. And just to remind you, you get the unit rate by dividing both of the numbers by whichever number is smaller. So what we're going to do today is take two different types of rates and figure out how to compare them. So when comparing rates, write each rate as a fraction and make a common denominator, just like you would when adding or subtracting fractions. So remember back to in fifth grade, when you're adding or subtracting fractions, they have to have the same exact denominator. We're going to do the same exact thing for rates. So rates are pretty much fractions with labels, so we could do it the same way. So you find a number that both denominators can multiply to get, and then you rewrite the rates with that new denominator. And then you change the numerator by multiplying the numerator by whatever you multiply the denominator by. Then all you have to do is compare your numerators. So let's take a look at an example. It says, if you mix 3 drops of blue paint for every 5 drops of red paint, and your friend drops 2 mixes of blue for every 4 drops of red, who will have the redder paint? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write these both as fractions. So I'm going to write 3, and I'll put a B for blue. And then what's the bottom? 5 drops of red, so I'll do 5 drops of red. That's for my mixture. Then the friend is doing 2 mixes of blue, or 2 drops of blue. So I'll put 2 blue for every 4 drops of red. We want to figure out which one would have the redder paint. So what we just need to do is have a common denominator. So for 5 and 4, a number they can both multiply to get would be 20. So I'm going to write 2 fractions with 20 on the bottom. And then we're going to figure out our numerators. So if they both have 20 drops of red, we want to know which one is the redder paint. That's going to be the one that has less blue in it. So 5 times 4 is 20. So I'm going to do 3 times 4, which is 12. So 12 drops of blue and 20 drops of red. And then for this one, 4 times 5 is 20. So I'm going to do 2 times 5, which is 10. So if both of these mixtures have 20 drops of red, the one that's going to be more red is going to be the one that has less blue in it. So that would be this one. If you only have 10 drops of blue, it's going to be redder than if you put more drops of blue. So that would be 10 drops of blue, which was equivalent to this one. So that means your friend will have the redder paint. So you need a common denominator. You pick something they both go into. You change your numerators by multiplying them by whatever you would multiply the denominator by. So just like you would with normal fractions, the only difference is that this has labels, literally the only difference. And then you're going to compare your numerators. So this time, since we wanted which one would have the redder paint, we're looking for which one would have less blue paint. Because if it has less blue paint in it, it's going to be more red. So that would be this one. So that would be the friend. So I'm going to give you one of these. Actually, now that we're done with this, we'll go over and take a look at some of the examples.